So this is probably my last video that I'm gonna do it on Atlanta, because I know I have tired y'all out with this whole Atlanta thing, you know, but that's how it has affected me. You understand? Like, had I known that Atlanta was the way it was prior to me moving, I would have never left Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? So let me start it off like this, give you a little bit of background. Prior to me living in Atlanta, I lived in Charlotte for 6 years. And when I first moved to Charlotte, you know, I saw it as a nice city, you know what I'm saying? A place where I could grow. You know, the whole metro area is roughly about 2 to 3 million people here. So it's quite, you know, quite a few people here. And the city itself is very big. You know what I'm saying? It's not as big as Atlanta, because of course when you talk about Atlanta, you include the Metro Atlantis. You know, Metro Atlanta is like Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Brookhaven, Alpharetta, Union City, East Point, College Park. When you look at Metro Atlanta, Charlotte is not bigger than Metro Atlanta, but it is bigger than the city Atlanta, if you understand where I'm coming from, right? So I'm like, you know, this is a nice city, you know, and you know, I met people, and you know, I was like, you know, I could actually live here for a couple of years. Now, this is not a place that I want to live for the rest of my life, but it's, you know, it's cool, it's laid back and everything, right? So a couple of years passed by, and I saw, you know, my life wasn't going anywhere. It was just, I was just like floating, you know, existing. You know, it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. So I got width of the height, I got a sniff of the height of Atlanta. And I'm saying to myself, you know what, Atlanta's a bigger city. You know, maybe I might have more opportunity out there. I might get introduced to important people that can propel my career, you know, and I'm gonna take a shot at it, right? So I decided to move my family and I down there, right? So I get down there, and I stayed in Marietta, right? The first year, right? I stayed in Marietta, and a couple of weeks goes by, you know, and I'm getting the gist of the city and everything, and then a month or two goes by, and here I am, it's like 6 months in, and I start to realize things as you know, time passes by, and I'm like, wow, this is a bigger city, but it's nothing like Charlotte. It's just nothing like it. Like, Charlotte is very laid back, the people are mad cool, and you just have to come here to understand the culture. Everybody is just like very like peaceful, man. Peaceful. And some of the best people that you can meet on the planet live in Charlotte, right? So I started realizing, the first thing I realized was the racism down there. It was just extremely fucking crazy, and it was just like real blatant racism. You know, I remember we walked into Smyrna Library, right? And the white people were looking at us like, what are y'all here for? And let's not talk about the libraries. The libraries are fucking horrible. Horrible. The school systems are horrible. It's just, everything is fucked up in Atlanta. And when I realized that shit, I was like, you know what, man? Don't tell me I left heaven to come to hell. But that's what I did. Even though Charlotte is smaller than Atlanta, Metro Atlanta that is, it's better. You have a better life here, a better grade of life here. The people are better. You don't get that much racism. Listen, racism is gonna exist everywhere. But what I'm telling you is that there's a shitload of racism in Atlanta. But here, totally different. The people are different. And I've only been here for 2 weeks. So I said, you know, I said, fuck it. I left. And I moved back to Charlotte. When I moved back to Charlotte, right, now taking heat, I've been gone for almost 2.5 years. When I moved back to Charlotte, I couldn't hardly recognize the city. Because it's grown so much. And a lot of shit that Atlanta has, Charlotte got it. Charlotte has it. And I can tell that the infrastructure in this city is like soundproof. Soundproof. They know what they're doing. And if you choose to live here, the standard, the quality of living is just nice, man. Nice. I live in a very diverse neighborhood, right? I have Chinese people that live around me, white people, Mexican, black people, and we all fucking get along. We all mind our business, and we all get along. And everybody in this neighborhood, matter of fact, I think I'm the one that has the least here. Cause I don't have big flat screen TVs in my garage, but my neighbors do. Just the overall standard of living in Charlotte is just nice, and it's laid back, and the city has grown. So when you go down South Boulevard, you have, places where you can, eat at, bars. They have, when it's warm, they have like outside parties and shit. South End overall, that whole area is nothing but like, restaurants, bars, clubs. And it's a nice area, you know what I'm saying? So you can actually like catch the train. Like, take for example, if you don't want to drive into the city, you can catch the Lenox train and just take it on up and get off at South End. And then like the city, what we call it Uptown, but Uptown is not big as downtown or Midtown Atlanta. But guess what? It's more, how can I say, more convenient. Like, you can really drive to Uptown, park your car, and everything is within walking distance. The Carolina Panthers Stadium is down there. The minor league baseball team that they have, that stadium is down there. The Charlotte Hornets stadium is down there. Everything is within walking distance, and they have also bars and clubs and places where you can eat, all in Uptown. It's just a better city. And they really, like I said before, they really got it going on. If you're more eclectic and creative and into the arts and shit like that, you got the Noda District. South Park, that's our version of damn, I'm forgetting already. What is it? I forgot. Damn, that's crazy. I'm forgetting about Atlanta. Buckhead. That's our version of Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a smaller version of Buckhead, but they basically, South Park Mall has some of the same fucking stores that Lenox Mall has. And you just can't, man, I'm telling you, man, you come here and you get involved into the culture and see what the things that are happening in Charlotte, you can't resist it. You're not gonna be able to resist. You're gonna be like, yo, man, I may not want to live here, but I'm gonna chill. Well, if you have money, you got bread, I'm gonna get a house out here, something like that. I'm gonna come through every now and then or whatever have you. It's just a better city, man. And we don't deal with a whole lot of bullshit like Atlanta does with the sex trafficking, the opioid epidemic that's down there. The whole thing with and I know y'all gonna be like, yo, man, you need to get off of that shit and leave them alone, because you always talking shit about them. But we don't have to worry about the whole thing of I don't want to talk about it, but y'all know what be happening at night at Piedmont Park. Y'all know what's happening at night at Piedmont Park. Y'all know that, right? So don't try to act like y'all don't know that niggas be fucking in that damn park. And I'm talking about niggas be fucking each other in the park. We don't have to worry about none of that crazy shit, man. We don't. I don't have to. I stay. When I lived in Atlanta, right? A transgender stayed right next to me, right? Now, people are entitled to do and be whoever they want to be and do whatever they want to do. And what I don't understand is, why is it when people say I'm coming out of the closet, why do I have to know who you fucking in your bed? I don't need to know that. That's not my concern. And neither does my son have to know that too, as well. So down there, that whole gay agenda shit, that's shoved down your fucking throat. It's shoved down your throat. I don't have to worry about that type of shit here. I have to explain to my son why this man is dressed up like a woman. No, I'm not doing that. And I'm not saying that the LGBTQ community is not present here. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that they are laid back as well. And I respect them. They're not trying to shove that shit down our throats. They're not trying to shove the LGBTQ community down heterosexual women and men down their throat. Pause. They're not trying to do that. But that's heavy down there. Just the overall standard of life, man, living in Charlotte, man, it beats a lot of other places. It really does. And when I look at my top 5 cities that I've lived in that are most racist, Atlanta's number 1. Period. Your perception of Atlanta, if you never lived there and you're just from the outside looking in and you think, oh, it's Black Mecca and it's this and that. No. You're wrong. And I advise you to reevaluate yourself. You see, you can't go down to Atlanta for the weekend and think you know it. Oh man, we went to Magic City, we went to this bar, we went to that. Nigga, live down there, work down there, and you'll see the difference. Here in Charlotte, ever since I've been back, yo, this is my word, I've been back for 2 weeks, and I'm telling you, my 2 weeks have been better than the 2.5 years that I was living in Atlanta. Ain't that some shit? I'm dead ass serious too. Dead ass serious. My 2 weeks here has been way better than my 2.5 years living in Atlanta. And now that I'm back, I've met up with some of the people that I was got up with previously, before I moved to Atlanta, and they're doing good things. And we've collaborated on some things. And I see growth in 2 weeks. 2 weeks that I've been here. Way more growth than I've seen close to 2.5 years that I've been living in Atlanta. I'm glad I left. So when you look at Charlotte versus Atlanta, Charlotte beats Atlanta by far. By far. Let's not talk about the jobs that Charlotte has. Let's not talk about that in comparison to Atlanta. Cause there ain't no fucking jobs down there. Period. And in my comment section, the videos that I've done about Atlanta, people are sitting here, black folks that is, which is crazy to me. They're sitting here defending it, saying, well, nigga, you must not have made no money. I'm a 6-figure nigga, and if you make money like that, Atlanta be nice. But you can't. I keep on saying this. Why the fuck y'all niggas ain't listening? You cannot buy. You can't pay a racist person to stop being racist or stop practicing racism. You can't. So it doesn't make a difference how much fucking money you have. Here in good old Charlotte, I don't have to put up with all of that shit. Like I said before, there's not one place in America spelled with 3 Ks where racism doesn't exist. There's racism everywhere. What I'm telling you is that here, I don't have to deal with it as much. Here, when a cop gets behind me, I'm whistle while you work. When in Atlanta, when a Marietta, Cobb County police gets behind me, I start panicking. When a Sandy Springs police officer gets behind me, I start panicking. Period. So, y'all can have that shit. I said that already. For the second time, y'all can have it. Charlotte beats Atlanta by far. If you don't believe me, do the math. Do the math. On paper, it beats Atlanta. My name is Langston 2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.